if some type of tragedy happened, let's say somebody had a heart attack or a stroke or maybe even got shot or someone drowned in a pool of water, and you begin to do what a human that cares should do. You begin to try and resuscitate them, and you're pumping their chest cavity, and you're performing CPR, and you're breathing in them, and you're trying to revive that body. But you understand, because of the knowledge that you have, that after a window amount of time, it doesn't matter how much you've been trying to resuscitate that body or pumping the chest cavity or breathing your life into that vessel. After a certain amount of time, you understand that it's been too long. There's no pulse. The heart hasn't pumped in a minute. No oxygen is getting to the brain. You understand, and you can kind of, just like a paramedic could declare. The paramedic is not an MD, but the paramedic, glory to God, can declare they're gone. It doesn't make any sense to bring out the shock treatment or to keep on pumping the chest cavity of this corpse. It's done. All right. This means that you're giving up. And there's nothing wrong with giving up, especially on a toxic relationship. And if you've been with a narcissist, that's precisely and exactly what you need to do. You need to give up. And by the way, this is not an AI video. This is the real Phil Green. All right, this is the real fellowship with me, with the real mind of Phil Green. This is nobody using my voice to generate AI channel for profit. But anyway, there's a difference between giving up and quitting. Quitting means that there's more I can do. Quitting means that I'm fighting for a good cause. Quitting means that this is a good match, but we're having our differences. I mean, after all, this person is loyal. This person is honest. This person respects me. This person is qualified to be a lifetime partner. I should expect some challenges. I should expect conflict. All right? And we can work through that because conflict is a good thing. Conflict just shows that even though we have differences, we have the emotional maturity to work through those differences and get through it. And what those experiences reinforce to us is that even though we go through stuff, we still stay together. All right, conflict is good. But when we quit in the face of conflict, that's not love. When we don't fight for what we profess to want for the rest of our lives, that's not love. When we give up, whenever things get hard, that's not love. And that's the difference between genuine love and infatuation. And they can feel, a lot the same. They can look like some distant cousins. But the way you know the difference between infatuation and love is that love endures. Love doesn't need breaks from you. And if we just make it biblical, love will never, and I define never as not even once, never leave you nor forsake you. All right, so when you're seeing these cycles, when you're seeing these 2 weeks off there, 2 months off there, 4 months off there, a month off there, you're dealing with a toxic person. You're dealing with a liar. You're dealing with a manipulator. And anyone can be manipulated by a narcissist. It doesn't matter your socioeconomical status, how smart you are, how brilliant you are, how handsome you are, how pretty you are, how popular you are. Anybody who doesn't have the proper, watch this, boundaries and standards, you are vulnerable to being manipulated by a narcissist. And I can help you with that. But that's part of the steps I use to help you break free from narcissistic abuse is to forgive yourself. All right. But I'll go into depth with that with another video. But what's really important for you to understand is that self-care, I would say probably the second highest form of self-care, because self-care is what we need. We got to grow out of the person we were when they hurt us, right? Self-care, I would say the second highest form of self-care is to walk away from somebody you love so much, is to turn your back on them, is to go no contact, don't answer their calls, change your number if you can, totally detach from them. That's how you get the victory. Your silence is louder than slamming a door. Your silence is more powerful than explaining yourself. Your silence is retaking the narrative back and reclaiming your power and control, and is signaling to them that you've lost your control, because that's what they were in it for, is signaling to them that they are no longer relevant. And that's what makes them mad, because they weren't in it for the love of you or the love to give to you. They were in it for power and control. And when you turn your back on them, I would say that's the second biggest form of self-care or self-love. And Google that, by the way. Google what I'm about to tell you now. The number one form of self-love. Google, what is the number one form of self-love? I'm waiting for you. Not self-care, but that's why the semantics of this is important. Google, what's the number one form of self-love? All right. And I find it interesting. Kind of want to give you a few more seconds here. We just vibing. You can, consider subscribing, consider liking this video, consider sharing it. But I'm just doing the exercise right now. So for those of you who Googled what's the number one form of self-love, you may have been surprised or astonished that you would have seen discipline. Discipline. This is a quality of life we got to revisit for so many reasons, but it definitely applies to breaking free from a toxic person who takes no responsibility for not some things, but not for anything they do. But I don't want to get off topic. The difference between quitting and giving up is that giving up means there's nothing else that could be done. It means I've exhausted all possibilities. Quitting means there's still more that I could do. There's still hope. There's still reasons and rationale to make effort. That's what quitting is. But you know what? It's not worth it to me. So I may procrastinate. I may put it off. But giving up means there's nothing else I can do. You have and need to give up on a narcissist. This is that part. You have to give up on somebody in a cluster B psychological category. All right. You got to give up on them because it's not going to change and it's not worth it. You're dealing with a different kind of retarded. And I'm not going to apologize for using that adjective, but I just want folks to get it. All right. This is the mental illness realm. And I don't have to be liked. It's rewarding for me that you get it. You're dealing with a different kind of retarded. All right? I want you to hear me now. And if you're experiencing a relationship or the aftermath of ramifications of being with a narcissist, I'm here to help you. Yes, it's not going to be free, but it's not going to break the bank either. I've been there before. Who would you rather have helping you? If you want to visit Philly and you want information about Philly, do you want somebody who read about Philly or somebody who grew up in Philly? Somebody who's been there. Somebody could tell you the ins and outs, tell you where and not to go, tell you who got the best cheesesteaks. I've been there before. And that's not saying folks that help people that don't have any experiential knowledge on the subject can't help you. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But they only can take you but so far. All right? And I understand that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I've been there before. And I understand, I know, and I can share in what you're going through because I'm a super empath. What you need to do is get healed, delivered, and set free. And no matter what, stand on business. God bless you.